Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, as we're going to be starting a new series today with the Fate of Iberia expansion. So as I mentioned in that update video a few days ago, we already recorded the first two episodes of the series, but unfortunately we had some technical issues where the audio was recorded and the mouse movement, but the rest of the video was frozen. So we're going to be restarting this series, just redoing it, playing as the same character, and let's just hope that everything goes as well as it did the first time. Unlike the last campaign as Poland, this is going to be a roleplay series, as that's what the patrons voted for, so it'll be similar to the England and Byzantine campaigns. However, we will be doing the roleplay format a little bit different than in those ones, and I'll talk about that once we get into it. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into a new game. I do not have much experience with the new expansion, pretty much just those two videos that I recorded. I've unfortunately not had any time to play around with it. Given that the DLC has been out for about 3 weeks or so, I'm sure many of you guys have a bit more experience with it, so you guys can help me out with anything I'm unfamiliar with. I did read all the developer diaries for the expansion, so I kind of know the basics. But yeah, this is the character we're going to be playing as, Emir al-Muqtadir, which I believe that means the powerful, and he is Yemeni, which is unique here in the Iberian Muslims. Of course, that's over here from Yemen. But yeah, I think he's the only character, him and his brother, and anybody else who might be in his court they brought along with them. I think they're the only Yemeni culture here, which we'll take a look at the culture and the special bonuses we get there. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to play as a very different culture from the ones that surround us. So we'll start by taking a look at our character. He is 50 years old, he is homosexual, and he has the traits calm, humble, honest, and cynical. We also have the skilled tactician education trait, the gallant lifestyle trait, so that's the branch of his perk tree that he's already completed, and he's also a desert warrior, which won't be all that helpful here in Iberia because there's no deserts here. In addition to that commander trait, our culture also gets some bonuses in deserts, so essentially we won't be using any of those in this campaign unless we were to leave Iberia. But yeah, these are the traits that are going to determine how we act as our character, particularly in the events, like which event options we select, what choices we make. But we're going to be doing this a little bit different than in those past roleplay campaigns, where in those ones, essentially if our character was going to take stress from doing something, then we looked at that as that being something our character wasn't willing to do, that went against their traits, and therefore we typically couldn't do it. So that resulted in us pretty much never interacting with the stress system. Every once in a while, you get stressed sometimes. You can't help but get stressed. But for the most part, we just didn't interact with the system at all. So that's not very good for gameplay purposes, but then on top of that, it's not very realistic. In real life, people have to do things they are uncomfortable doing. They have to do things they don't want to do sometimes, particularly as a king or a ruler or whatever. You often have to do things that you don't want to. So we're going to change that policy. We will now be able to take decisions where they make sense for our character to do, even if they do result in stress. Of course, it's got to make sense for the character. So if you got a character who's not a very good ruler and isn't willing to do things that go against their own character, their own desires, then maybe that character would not be willing to do something that would cause them stress, simply because they're just not willing to do things they don't want to do. So we'll just base that off our current character and their personality. Now, some of you guys are going to disagree with some of the decisions I make when it comes to the roleplay. If you do, post down in the comments, why you disagree. Feel free to explain why you think I should act differently in future decisions. However, please do so respectfully. In past roleplay campaigns, we've had some issues with people, they disagree with me and then they get really rude and mean in the comments and just want to insult me. Or they start attacking people in the comments, just trying to start arguments. So please don't do that. Let's all be respectful of each other. If you disagree with me, feel free to express it, but there's no reason to be rude about it. Well, let's go ahead and continue looking at our current situation here. So we currently have 4 counties. Our capital here actually has a special building which gives us increased fort level, defender advantage, and garrison, so essentially all the bonuses you get for any kind of defensive building. Then we also get a plus 5% holding taxes bonus for the entire county, and a control growth of 0.5 per month. And then any character who holds this building will get 1+ diplomacy per level of fame, so that'll be really helpful, and a plus 5% on monthly renown. So nice special building that we start with here. These are the buildings that our other counties currently have. So yeah, we have the 4 counties, which is sitting at the domain holding limit. We might want to get that increased through a spouse so that we can grab another county and hold it directly. We'll also want to give counties to our sons, though, so they can move through their perk tree. So this is our eldest son, Yusuf ibn al-Muqtadir. I believe ibn means son of. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, though. If I mispronounce anything, just let me know down in the comments respectfully, and I'll try my best with it. I'm sure I'll mispronounce quite a few things, as usual. But yeah, this is our eldest son. He is 23 years old. He is bisexual. He's a craven, zealous, and humble. I didn't figure he'd have much worse traits than he did in our first playthrough. He didn't have craven or zealous. I don't think he had any of these, actually. I think they were all different character traits. Because unlike our main character, whose traits are set in the files, the children, their traits are completely randomized here. So, of course, we would get much worse traits. But his attributes are about what our sons were in the first playthrough. So this is our eldest son. He already has a son as well, and he is charming. He's doing the diplomacy education. I imagine that's probably what we'll keep him doing. Yeah, we'll keep him on the diplomacy one. And then we have his sister, which she is already married, and he's one of our knights. And unfortunately, again, he has worse prowess than I did the first time. I think his prowess was 11 in our first playthrough. Now it's 7. I think he was our best knight, but that's probably not the case anymore. What I find interesting about him, though, is his face looks funny to me. Doesn't that look like really funky? Like he's had like a whole bunch of plastic surgery or something? It's all shiny and just kind of, I don't know, very sharp features and kind of fake looking. Anyway, I thought he looked kind of silly. But that's our son-in-law, married to our only daughter, who's 20 years old. And then we have our younger son, 18 years old, Mundur, and he is content, shy, and gluttonous. Again, much worse traits. In fact, he was the better of our 2 sons the first time, and I was thinking about having him inherit just because he had much better traits, much better attributes. But now that's no longer the case. In fact, he's a very disappointing character. Yeah, he's just terrible. So I do not think we'll want to play as him. We'll probably want to play as Yusuf because, yeah, even with the traits he has, he's a much better character. As I explained in that update video, everything is always worse the second time around, so I did expect all their traits and just everything to be worse. Maybe just check the treasury. I bet we don't have anything. Nope. So we also randomly had something for our regalia slot here, which we no longer have. So yeah, like I said, everything is going to be much worse than the first time around. I expected it, which was one reason I didn't want to play as the same character, but at the same time, I really wanted to do the Yemeni culture here in Iberia, so that's why we're redoing it. But yeah, it's a real shame that everything is so much worse than it was the first time. But anyways, let's go ahead and get our lifestyle chosen. We're going to be picking the martial. I don't think any of our traits would lead us to go with one focus over any of the others, though I suppose you could make the argument that the humble trait will make you less likely to go for a chivalry focus, because that character would care less about like honor and pride and such. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with the strategy focus here, since we'll be doing some wars here, and the 3+ martial would be useful. This is another thing that's different for this playthrough. In the first one, we had gone down the strategist, so we completely got that instead of the gallant, because this is all randomized as well. And I feel like that felt better for our character and was also more useful for conflict. Gallant is helpful for conflict. You get that prowess, and then we get some other bonuses as well. Marriage acceptance would be helpful. The skills from the spouse counselor task, that's nice. Knight effectiveness is good in war. This is also another really good one for conflict. I get more knights, though our knights are all garbage, so that's not really going to help us that much. But the peace acceptance is nice too. And then of course you have the gallant trait here, increasing our martial and prowess. But yeah, just not as good as the strategist is. So a bit unfortunate that we got this perk tree instead of this one, but it is what it is. We're too old at this point to have any hope of getting down the strategist one. Now we could of course reset our perks, gaining the stress, but we're not going to do that. I don't want to start with the the 100 stress here. So we'll just leave it as is. So next we need to arrange a marriage for our character and our sons. But before we do that, let's go and take a look at some of the other stuff here. We'll look at the religion, the culture, and the Iberian struggle mechanic. So with our religion, we are a Muslim character. We've never played as a Muslim in CK3. I've actually never played, even off camera, played as a Muslim in this game, though I have played as many Muslim characters in CK2, the previous game. So there are quite a few differences here from Christianity. So let's take a look at the tenants first. We got adaptive, county conversion resistance plus 30%, and infidel vassals are less likely to join independence and populist factions. Also some different bonuses for characters. Then we have struggle and submission. If one exists, the head of faith can declare a great holy war when the faith has high fervor. If no head of faith exists, which I think is the case right now, then adherents gain a bonus to the convert faith in county councilor tasks per controlled holy site, which I believe we only control one holy site, so therefore we'll get a slight bonus. Piety and devotion from winning holy wars is increased by 50%, and characters of this faith gain additional bonuses upon the successful completion of a pilgrimage. And then of course we have jizya, which is, the tax for non-Muslims. So in any province that has a different faith, we'll get a plus 20% for domain taxes, but we'll also get less Revi reinforcement rate, while any province of the same faith will get a plus 25%. And this also unlocks a special vassal contract. Now when it comes to the doctrines, there's several ways that Islam differs from Christianity. So you have the polygamous marriages, which means we can have multiple wives, multiple spouses, and I think we also get a penalty if we have too few. I'm not entirely sure how many you have to have. I believe it's a penalty to your piety. Yeah, penalty to your piety here. So that's something to consider. There are no bastards as well. So that's a major difference. And also kinslaying is accepted, so we won't get the kinslayer trait. Same-sex relations are accepted. So there's some major differences here when we compare it to Christianity. Then we have our Yemeni culture. It is a communal culture. So we get the culture mercenary hire cost reduction. Probably not going to use that much. We don't use mercenaries that often. Close family opinion plus 5, and then the useful bonuses you're getting is that the building construction time and cost is reduced by 10%, so that'll be helpful. And then here's our traditions. They're very focused on the mountains, so the mountaineer is going to result in a rough terrain expert commander trait being more common. We get a decision to recruit mountain commanders, and then we get all those bonuses in the mountain provinces. And then we have the mountain herding, and this allows us to recruit a unique men-at-arms, which replaces our skirmishers. That also makes the rough terrain expert commander trait more common and the desert warrior trait more common. And we got the development growth in desert mountains plus 35% and a bunch of other bonuses, which are not going to help us because we don't have any desert mountains. So those are those bonuses that I was referencing earlier. And then we have religion blending. Counties of this culture are more easily converted to another faith. No negative opinion of other faiths. And then some reduction in cost for like faith conversion and creation and reformation. And then the last one is another one that's not going to help us because we don't have any coastal territory right now. So this is maritime mercantilism, and basically we're going to get more money and get access to buildings an era earlier for the trade port line. So that won't be useful until after we've taken some coastal provinces. One advantage of the Yemeni culture compared to some of the other cultures in Iberia is we actually do have more innovations unlocked than like many of them, such as the Andalusian culture. I think we have like 2 more innovations than Andalusian. So now the last thing to look at is the Iberian struggle mechanic, which is part of the DLC. And one of the interesting things about this character is because we're Yemeni, we're an interloper. So our realm capital is in the struggle region, and our faith is involved, but our culture is uninvolved. And thus, instead of being an involved character, we're an interloper and have different bonuses here. We get a lot less bonuses. So I thought that was one of the interesting parts of playing with this character. So what we're getting here with the war effects, wars within the struggle region will cost less prestige. With the culture effects, converting to an evolved culture is less expensive. Faith effects, holy wars cannot be declared in the struggle region, and convert faith and county proceeds faster within the struggle region. So those are the main 2 that are going to affect us here. So we cannot declare holy wars right now, and this is part of this phase here, the opportunity phase, that will change. As you can see, they're already making their progress here. But the last one here is that we get the Iberian foothold decision, reduced taxes, and reduced popular opinion. So these are the next 2 phases we could move to, hostility or conciliation. When you click on them, shows you all the catalysts that can move you towards that. We already won towards it. I think it has like a passive growth of 1 here for hostility. And then you look at the conciliation. These are the things that will move us towards that. But yeah, it's an interesting mechanic. I'm looking forward to playing with it a bit more. But yeah, let's go ahead and get those marriages arranged now. So we'll start with ourselves. And for our own marriage, we're going to want to focus on the skills. You know, we're not trying to have any more children. We have 2 sons, and yeah, if any other sons we're going to have, this is going to further split up our counties, result in our eldest son getting less. So we want somebody who's older. We don't care about maximum age or age difference. We just want to make sure they're an adult here. They do not have to be fertile, but probably should be healthy, so I don't have to do this marriage again. As far as the rest of these, I don't think anything else matters besides making sure that she's not lowborn. Whenever I do the role plays, I typically don't arrange any marriages for lowborn characters, as that wasn't typical for the time. However, if it makes sense, so for example, let's say we had a lover that we've been with for a long time who's lowborn. Maybe we fall in love with her and we marry her. And there may be a few other exceptions where it makes sense for our character to marry somebody lowborn. So we got the sum of all skills selected, and remember, we really don't care about her age. Frankly, older character would be better, honestly. So we got a sadistic character here, diligent and vengeful. We don't care about alliances, by the way, not for this particular marriage. And we're going to want her to have skills that complement ours well. So with her, you know, a big part of her, you know, being at the top is that she has a very high martial, but we already have high martial. So she probably wouldn't be the best character for us to marry. In fact, we probably want somebody who's got good stewardship, intrigue, maybe learning, and still lesser degree. I guess diplomacy would be helpful as well, but really what I think we need is stewardship more than anything else. But yeah, we'll still go with some of all skills. Just kind of go through these. I think she's too young. We'll definitely have children with her. So let's look for somebody else. You know, it might be better to sort this by age and then start at the bottom and look at the oldest characters. So yeah, she would not be good. She has horrible traits here. Here, we've got a character with good stewardship. She's impatient, gluttonous, and content. 45 years old. So she would be a good choice. I think this is who I arranged the marriage with the first time, because she was a prophet. So she could be a good choice. Again, stubborn, vengeful, and content. But her attributes are much worse this time than they were that time. Yeah. If that's the same character, it could just be a different prophet character. But she's like the same age, and she has the prophet trait. So I want to say that this is probably the same character. But yeah, her attributes are much, much worse. So I don't think we'll arrange the marriage with her. Just looking for somebody who compares to that other woman. I don't think so. I think this is clearly the best character. We get that stewardship, and she's 45 and not likely to have children. So yeah, we'll arrange the marriage for her. So you can see she's already boosted up our stewardship, so now we could hold another county. But yeah, let's go ahead and get our son married next, and I think we're going to marry him to the daughter of this Emir here. I think that'd be our best route. Her husbands are dead. She's had 2 husbands. One died of unknown causes, and the other died in captivity. And she's okay as far as her attributes go. Diplomacy is pretty good. The rest are, I guess the rest are pretty garbage. She does have the high diplomacy, though. And she's stubborn, gregarious, and generous. I think she would be a good choice, so that we can have this alliance over here with our both our current character and with our heir when he becomes the Emir. So yeah, let's go and send that proposal off. And that'll get us alliance with our powerful southern neighbor here, so we don't have to worry about them declaring war on us or getting involved in some of the conflicts that we want to do early on here. So we also need to find a marriage for our youngest son, and with him, we're going to be looking for somebody who's got some favorable traits to bring into our dynasty. So let's go ahead and change this up. We want to go ahead and restore this to default. So with age difference, we want that to be about 10 years so that she won't be too young, and we don't have to wait too long for her to come of age, and that she's not too old. So we want her to be fertile and healthy. We will look for inheritable traits. We also want to make sure that This character's not lowborn though, so yeah, you can see there are no inheritable traits if we do that. So we'll just do all. And we'll just do it some of all skills. So it's kind of a bummer we couldn't get anybody who had good traits. I suppose since he's the youngest, we could do a lowborn character just to get a trait in here. There might not even be any good traits. We'll take a look, guys. Let's see if there's any that we really want to get in here. We got intelligent, hell, but also homely. Yeah, another hell one there. Pretty character. And is this still sorted by some of all skills? It is. So this character has some really good attributes here. She's quick. I thought you'd probably want to go with the intelligent first. She's 19, so about the same age. And she's got some great attributes as well. So I think that's what we'll do. This is a different Muslim faith, so a different branch of Islam or a different school. So this does result in a slight penalty to opinion. But it's really not that bad. It's nothing like the Christians and the much bigger penalty they get here. It's just a -5. So I think we'll arrange the marriage for Monica because she has that intelligent trait. So we'll try and get that blended into our dynasty here if we can. He'll lose some prestige, of course, because she's lowborn. But again, he's not our heir or our character, so I think it's fine with him. So we're going to send that proposal off as well. Another thing we want to do is go ahead and set up an alliance with our brother here. We can protect each other from the Christians in the north. And see if we got anything else we need to be aware of. You can see we have too few knights, or Faris or Faris. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I'm going to pronounce it Faris for now. But do correct me if you know the proper pronunciation, since we'll need to say that quite a bit in this series. But yeah, we have far too few Farises, and thus we're going to need to get some more. Yeah, you can also see that they're not very good, the ones that we currently have. Now, we can recruit this character to court. How expensive would that be? Only 15, that's not bad. So yeah, he's better than all of our other ones. So yeah, let's recruit him to court, just because of how cheap he is. He is wheezing, though. A tiny health penalty there. And he's intellectual. Yeah, so we'll bring him into court for that 15 gold. Get one better knight. We will not fix the problem of having too few, though. So that's one of the problems of starting with the Gallant perk. As a small country here, a character doesn't own much. You just don't have the knights to be able to make use of that perk and the additional knights. But yeah, let's go ahead and declare war on this character right here on the outset, because I don't want him to get any alliances with anybody else. Actually, you know what we'll do? We're going to go ahead and let it play for a second. We'll get this. You guys can read this, pause it, and read it if you want. But we want to get those alliances done first, get those accepted. And also with our brother. We don't need the alliances to declare war on him. I just want to make sure that they're accepted. We don't have any issues. Alright, so he has accepted. That's the main one that I was concerned about. Wanted to make sure that he accepted this alliance. Alright, so our son has married his daughter. He is 43 years old right now. Another thing we should probably do here is prepare for the next conflict after this one, which is going to be against Aragon. And the reason why we're attacking these two is because they are within our de jure, or de jure, if you want to pronounce it in Latin, duchy title here. So this one here, there's also one here that's under our new ally, and then the King of Aragon. All of his counties are in our duchy title as well. So that's the reason why we're going to declare war on these two. But if he has any allies, which he doesn't, so I guess it's irrelevant, but yeah, if he had any allies, we might want to try and see if we can't end those alliances by, removing that character from play, his ally. That's not the case, so we don't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and declare war on this character now that we have our allies set up. And we're going to want to do, we don't want to do this one, the Invade Kingdom. This does result in, it's a very high cost in prestige, and it also results in you losing fame. And you can only do a kingdom title once in your lifetime. Yeah, we don't want to use that one. We don't need to do either of those two. It's going to be one of these ones. This one's 90 prestige. Just trying to see what the difference between these two are. This one would be 45 prestige. Looks like the effects are the same, so we'll want to do this one then. We're spending the least amount of prestige. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our rally point set up. We're going to go right here. Also, our council. I did not set the council up yet, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we got our wife here. She's doing assist ruler, which has given us, looks like a bonus of 9 total. So nothing else is going to be that good, though with managed domain you could get an 8+ bonus. So close, and that allows us to manage another holding. We'll just keep her on the assist ruler for now though. So next is our mufti or mufti, and that's our court chaplain. Remember, as a Muslim character we can appoint this position, and thus we're going to want to do that. We're going to replace this guy because his learning is terrible. So looks like we have our knight here. I don't know that he can be a knight and in this position, probably not. So might not want to select him. But yeah, we might not have anybody who's better at this. Yeah, you got this character. He would, he's not a great marshal, but we'll do this position last. We'll start with the Chancellor because we currently have somebody at level 13. He is a powerful vassal. We could replace him with this character. Let me see what he's good at. See if there's anything he would be better at. No, not really. That's what he's best at. But that's also what this character's best at. He's certainly not good at the marshal there. Well, let's take a look at all these positions, see if there's anybody we want to move around here. Yeah, he's probably the best steward. And look here and see if there's anybody better. Yeah, that's the best steward that we have available. With the marshal, you got to have somebody better than that, you would think. You got the spy master, who's not really good at doing that. You could swap him and put him in place, and he would be the best. So that's what we'll do. Go ahead and swap him. And then, yeah, maybe make him the Chancellor instead. Because, yeah, he's terrible at intrigue. Let me take a look and see if we got anybody good for spy masters here. So this character is level 15. He's also a knight. So I think we're going to assign him to this position because, yeah, he'd do really well at it. Could also put our daughter in place, our daughter and sister-in-law. How is that? Huh, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how she's, because he's not our brother. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. I think we've seen that before, though. Yeah, clearly that doesn't make sense, unless I'm looking at it wrong. But anyways, we could also put her in place, and she'd be okay at that position. But yeah, we'll put him in here. Do we want to fire this guy, though? He would be better in this position. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll just move him over here. He's also a young man as well. So he's going to be our vassal for longer. So we'll just go ahead and switch these two out first. Swap them, and then he'll be the one that we fire. We could leave him in here, I suppose, since he is a powerful vassal. But he'll not be a powerful vassal for much longer, guys, because none of these are even count level. Because we don't have any counts underneath us, so they'll all be replaced eventually anyways. So I don't think it really matters if we piss this guy off. So let's go and assign this dude here instead, since he has the much higher intrigue. So now we'll take a look, see who we want to put in this place. Yeah, since we decided for him to be the Chancellor. So yeah, I don't really want to put this knight there. But you got to get somebody better than this. I suppose we could put our son into this place, because he is quite zealous. So it makes sense for him to be in that position. I think that's what we're going to do, guys. Let's put our son in this position. Alright, so that'll give him some bonuses. So we want him to start converting faith over here first, because they're Christian in this county, or I should say it's Catholic specifically, as these are Christian as well. But you don't get as big of penalties as you do over here. So let's go ahead and convert the one Catholic province, and then we'll do our capital next. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the rest of these counselors assigned. We'll have him do domestic affairs for now, I suppose. The steward, we're going to need him to start promoting culture in our capital. And unfortunately, that's going to take 15 years, so quite a long time, and it's because all of our counselors in this playthrough are much worse than the first time, with the exception of Spy Master. My Spy Master is better, but all the rest of these are all a lot worse. My Mufti, he was much higher. I was completing these in like 3 years rather than 5 years. So again, just everything's worse this time around, as it always is. It's a shame, though, because we have to promote all of these counties before we can start with development, which is something we really need to work on, because development is pretty low in these counties. 9 or 8 throughout all these counties. So yeah, we won't be able to work on that until we get these cultures converted first, and that's going to take a huge chunk of our campaign, frankly, if we're moving at this pace. So maybe we can get a better steward and increase the speed. So with our marshal, I think we'll want to keep him here on the organized army for the army maintenance cost, reducing that. And then with the spy master, we'll probably keep him on disrupt schemes, since we don't really need to find secrets right now or support any schemes. For our personal scheme, that's another thing we haven't worked on yet. We should probably improve relations with the spy master. I think that would be wise. So let's go and sway him. Don't want your spy master to dislike you. We can call other characters into this war. I don't think that will be necessary though, because this is going to be a really small conflict. As long as he doesn't pull in any allies, he doesn't really have very many troops. So it should be a nice, easy, small conflict. However, we do still need to get, you can see that we do have too few spouses, but you know what, I don't really think that there's any other good options there, guys, that we want to do. It's just a penalty to our piety, which I think it's 0.5. Yeah, it's 0.5. So that is significant, I suppose. We're also cynical, so that's reducing it too. But yeah, none of those spouses I think would be a good choice, you know, because we want to make sure that they're older characters, so we don't have any more children, because they'll just cause us problems with the inheritance. We do need to hire a court physician, but you know what, we should probably see how much money we're losing from our army first. So I was going to raise these guys up. I want them all to raise up here in this province, and then we'll attack them over here. It's going to be, well, we're done. All right, so let's go ahead and march over there as quickly as we can. They're going to be defending those hills. And I suppose we're not really losing too much money per month here, so let's go ahead and search for a physician now to get somebody hired. We might get some characters wounded in this war, so it'd be wise to have a physician, particularly because I think we're going to be leading our own troops here. I don't think anybody else is anywhere near as good as our character. So yeah, we'll be leading our own troops. So yeah, let's make sure we get ourselves a physician. So this will be a nice, easy win. As far as which of these two physicians we want to hire, we got lucky here. Renowned physician is available. Not very good learning, which is important, but really the traits, the doctor traits are the most important. So we probably want to pay whatever he's asking. Yeah, it's gonna be 50 gold here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get him. He's clearly better than her with the low learning and no physician trait. So we got a decent doctor. Alright, so once this battle is over, we'll siege it down and then we'll be done with it. So we can go and actually speed this up because this should be a easy conflict. We'll go and take a look at how our viruses did. And I don't think our son is here any longer. Yeah, I don't think our son is. Oh no, he is still in here. Okay, I wasn't sure if he could be a knight and serve in that office, but apparently he can. Now he's not all that great, so he's not getting a whole lot of kills here. Same with our youngest son, who is even less impressive. But our top knight here got about 8 kills. Alright, take a look at the events. And he killed this guy. Alright, good job. Alright, so this siege is going to take us 11 months. They'll probably just keep on attacking here, since what other options do they have? We also captured somebody. We'll deal with all that once this battle is over. It looks like we killed some more of their knights. Alright, so let's go ahead and speed it up since we're just waiting for the siege now. There's nothing else to be worried about. And again, they'll just continue attacking us here and giving us a war score. I guess we've already got the top war score we can get from battles of 50%. Band of Lost Birds. A wounded and disillusioned mercenary group has arrived at the sheikdom. The locals claim to have overheard talk of settling down after pillaging an easy target and have begun to grow anxious. Tensions are high and conflict is likely to arise if I do not intervene in the matter. So we can offer them a position at the city garrison, implore them to leave, force them out of the city, or let the locals handle it. Remember, our traits will help determine what we pick here. And I feel like as a calm character, we probably wouldn't force them out of the city. Yeah, I don't think that's the way we'd handle that. Though that's probably the best option. Yeah, I think that's probably the best option. You got a 70% chance of getting 20 gold and 150 prestige and getting the local garrisons using elite tactics. It's probably the best one, but I don't think it makes sense for our character. I could let the locals handle it, Only a 25% chance that you're going to get a good outcome, though. Implore them to leave. It's a diplomacy challenge, so 59% chance that we'd fail. Or we can offer them a position at the city garrison, but that'll cost 50 gold. Get us a bonus there that wouldn't be all that helpful. And this one's more negative than positive. So we don't want to pay for that, especially if we don't have the money for it. So I think we're just going to implore them to leave this city. Because I think, yeah, all the rest of these are pretty negative here. I mean, we'll probably still get the recently looted. 40% chance success is not high, and it actually worked out for us. All right, excellent. Didn't expect that that would go well. We also increased his opinion. We'll probably sway him one more time. Yeah, we'll work on swaying him one more time. This siege is done, so let's go ahead and enforce our demands. And so with that, we now have a new powerful vassal since he's our only sheik. And he would make a good chancellor or a good spy master, but I think we might want to instead replace our son with them. That would, of course, irritate our son, but yeah, we really want to convert these provinces faster, so that's probably our best option here. Let's go and disband our army. Let's see if there's anything up here we need to be aware of. We can go ahead and deal with all of our prisoners. So we got this character here, and I think we'll probably just ransom him for the 30 gold. We got this character. He's actually not too bad as far as his martial ability goes. So we could just go ahead and recruit this character. I think that's what we'll do. So recruit him. And then what about this character here? He's also somebody we might want to recruit for his learning. Yeah, I think we'll recruit him as well. We'll recruit both of those characters since we can't ransom them. And then we'll be replacing some members of our court here in a second. Turn that down for a second. We got a faction forming against us. So yeah, we need to put that one character in place here, that powerful noble. He's going to be irritated until we give him a position. We could give him the position of chancellor or the position of spy master. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to make him a spy master, though, because he hates us. Now, that's a negative 40 for wanting a seat on the council, but yeah, overall there's a lot of other penalties here, particularly the cultural acceptance. So yeah, I think that's going to be a problem regardless. So we'll keep him in as spy master and instead make this guy the chancellor. Yeah, he's not a powerful vassal. He doesn't need to have a position, but it is unfortunate. We'll be upsetting him. Yeah, let's go ahead and put him in place here. And then, yeah, I think we're going to replace our son as well. Although we cannot replace him. I'm not sure how long we're going to have to wait before we can replace him. But yeah, I do want to do so just to try and get these conversions going a little bit quicker. Alright, so I think we're good to go now. Let's go and let it play. We do need to look at our men-at-arms now. I didn't think we needed them for this war here, but we will want to make sure our men-at-arms are looking good before we start that next conflict. So this is an event from our brother, our half-brother, who rules over here. And he says that our marshal has insulted him gravely. He had the audacity to name me an impotent churl in front of my court. I demand satisfaction for this slight. So we can say whatever it takes to make this well again. We'll pay him some money, spend some prestige. And that'll get us some opinion with both of them. Or we can say Yusuf will plead for your forgiveness publicly. We'll lose opinion with him, and he'll spend the prestige, but we'll gain opinion with their brother. Yeah, this one would just result in us losing opinion. Well, as far as our character traits go, I feel like as a humble character, probably wouldn't do this one here. We'd be fine with doing that and losing prestige. Yeah, I feel like as a humble character, that's what we'd do. So whatever it takes to make this well again. So we're going to spend the money and the prestige for that. We also have gotten our first Dynasty Legacy, so that's nice getting this kind of early here. Now, I also do the Dynasty Legacies based on the current character we're playing as, even though these are more a long-term thing. I don't think calm or cynical would result in us, picking anything specific here or not picking anything. But I think the honest trait would result in us being less likely to pick guile, and the humble would probably make us less likely to pick glory, I would say. So really any of these, other than those two, would work. We could go for the House of Warriors. You know, that is the focus of our character, his education, so it makes sense to go for that. Plus, Knight Effectiveness is always helpful. Increased prowess for all characters in our dynasty. So that would be nice. So could go for that one. Could also go for Law. I see that making sense for our character. Blood is always a fun one to go with, so you can get those traits breeded into your dynasty. Could also do Kin, too. Yeah, really any of these would work. I think we're going to go the House of Warriors for this first one. I believe going down the warfare would be very useful here in Iberia. There's going to be a lot of conflict, I think. So we'll go for that one. And it makes sense with our character and his education. Alright, excellent. So with our men-at-arms, that's something we haven't really looked at yet. We start with the bowmen. We also have the camel riders, which they counter light cav, and they are also better in certain terrains than the horses, like deserts and dry lands. So we've got the camel riders, we got the bowmen, we have the siege engines, that's helpful to have early on here. We got the pikemen. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and increase the camel riders with the money that we have, and we'll keep investing into our men-at-arms for now, because yeah, we want to get our army up to a bigger size if we can, and he is now in alliance with Navarra. Okay, so we're going to need to deal with that. We were not able to sway him a second time. I think we'll keep it going as long as the percentage is high, which it is. Yeah, we'll keep that going. But yeah, now I can see a hostile scheme we might want to do. Remove the King of Navarra so that he will not assist Aragon. And frankly, just having this kingdom here in disarray because we killed their monarch, and instead his brother had to take over, who doesn't seem anywhere near as competent. Yeah, I think that this could be a really good choice for us. There's also really nothing here, I would say, that would result in us not doing intrigue like that, murdering somebody. Honest will result in us getting stress, I believe. But yeah, I don't feel like an honest character wouldn't do assassination attempts. But if Anso asked us if we were trying to assassinate him, then we would have to tell him yes. We'd have to be honest about it. But yeah, we're going to gain stress because of this. But again, that's no longer going to stop us from doing things if it makes sense for our character and his traits, which I think in this case it does. We do not have a high chance of success, though. Very low chance. I mean, it's only 830 dudes, so you don't have to do this. But I think it'd be beneficial to us. So let's start the scheme and see what happens, and we'll take the stress. We also have a perk available, so we could continue going down here. But yeah, I just don't know that it's going to be useful. That 15% army gold maintenance is nice. For the most part, again, this is not the best route to go, and we're already getting the natural dread, which is one of the best benefits you get here. Controlled territory defender advantage is nice too. But yeah, most of these aren't going to be that helpful for us. So I think we're going to go ahead and just start moving down the strategist, guys. That'll reduce the cost of CVs. So with the assassination attempt here, you see we have no agents that are willing to join. Maybe that'll change once we get some money here. Yeah, you can see there's a few agents now willing. They're on the low end, though. Let's just save up our money a little bit. Let's see if some other options come up. So we've unfortunately lost opinion somewhere. That's over here in the capital. That's a huge opinion drop, unfortunately. Yeah, so now we're at negative 42. Alright, so that's a shame. They do show you the catalyst every time that's triggered. It seems like that fires too often to me. I don't know if you need to be notified over here every time a catalyst happens. Scheme at court. My spy masters come to me at grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting against me. Alright, so they're attempting to fabricate a hook on us. We don't know who it is. Alright, so we did get a bonus there, and we were able to increase his opinion, so I think that's good now. We should probably work on our new most powerful vassal here, this Sheik. So we'll attempt to, I was going to say we'll attempt to sway him, but it might be better to attempt to learn his language, which is the Berber language, because part of the penalty we're getting here is cultural acceptance, negative 26. So it could be useful to learn his language. The first language I was going to work on was going to be the I think it's called Iberian. You have Iberian vulgar language. Yeah, that's the one we were going to work on first, but you know, I think we're going to do his. So we'll learn his language, attempt to. That's going to be a 29% chance, so we might want to look at other characters who might be a better option. In that Polish series, I had been told by many people in the comments that who you selected to learn the language from didn't matter, because you were only, you're only saying, I want to learn this language. You weren't learning it specifically from that character, so therefore who you selected did not matter. And so I had said that in the series multiple times because that's what I've been told by many people in the comments, but that is not true. I actually tested this, and you can see here when we attempt to learn the language with the King of Aragon, we have a 39% chance of success. If we go through here, you'll have different percentages. So that's 34% chance, so a lower percentage. This one here is a 29% chance. So you could see very clearly that it is dependent upon who you learn the language from. So when you kind of hover over it, you can see him being ambitious. He has the ambitious trait, so we get a +5 on there. So it actually does matter which character you select. So yeah, we're going to want to probably look to see if there's any better characters for learning this language. So maybe like take a look at him. He's a 29% chance as well. Let's kind of go through the main characters here and see if we can get a better one. That's still 29%. So unfortunately I wasn't able to find any other characters to give us a better percentage, so we'll just go with him. And that 29% chance, that's just not very good at all. It would take 12 years. Yeah, it feels like maybe we shouldn't do it right now, because it's just such a low chance of success. Yeah, that's a bummer. We'll just go ahead and boost his opinion. Yeah, I wanted to learn the language, but yeah, with 12 years, that's far too long. So instead, we'll just boost his opinion. And that's a 78% chance of success, so should work out. All that glitters. So my spy master approaches me with a wicked grin. My lord, this pouch contains a powder most nefarious. So we've seen this event many times. So we can go ahead and give it to him. And this might end up killing him for 20 gold. So we'll go ahead and do that, since we don't know that we'll be able to actually complete this. That's probably better than actually attempting to get agents and stuff. So my son Munder approaches me with sweat beading on his brow and pale face. Father, something is wrong. My humors have been unbalanced ever since I helped you pack that gift for King Anso. Oh no. Looks like our son might have got himself sick and poisoned himself. So he's not going to be feeling well either. Alright, so it kind of went back in our face, unfortunately. But it did apply to the king. So he's got that severe penalty to his health, and now his health is ailing. But yeah, I just don't know. It looks like he got a good treatment, though. Yeah, he got the attentive care, so yeah, kind of nullified that. But yeah, I just don't know that we'll be able to assassinate him without getting some, we're going to have to get some agents. So what we might want to go ahead and do then is go ahead and start looking for secrets in his capital that we might be able to use to get them to force some people to act as our agents. So we'll look for secrets there. But unfortunately, this is going to have to be the end of today's episode. And again, as I expected, everything did go much worse than it did the first time I recorded this first episode. But yeah, we'll be declaring war on Aragon next episode if we can get this guy removed. We don't have to do that. We could defeat both of them without doing so. But again, I feel like killing him would help destabilize Navarre for the future. So I think it'd be beneficial, and we don't have to be constantly doing warfare, I feel. So yeah, we'll likely wait until we get him removed. If it takes too long, then we'll just declare war and fight them both. That'll work too. And actually, it would be a good time, it seems, to declare war on him, because they are at war with their Christian neighbors over here. Looks like Barcelona attacked Aragon. So this would be a good time to go to war. Although it does look like he's got a lot of troops here. What, did he hire some mercenaries or something? Because yeah, he has got a lot more troops here than it would indicate. No, this is the army of Barcelona. Okay, they just have similar flags. Yeah, those are almost identical. Very, very close. Alright, so that just confused me. So that's Barcelona's army about to attack his. Yeah, we don't want... Since he attacked him, we don't want him to get this territory. What's he going after? After this county here. We could get all 4 of these counties in one war. I want to say it's 4 counties. Maybe it's 3. It's 3 counties. We can get all 3 of these counties in one war. So unfortunately, I think we will end up having to declare war here and get involved in this kind of mess I don't even know if we can stop him from taking that county. But yeah, we might have to try. Simply because, yeah, I don't want to lose that. I'd prefer to get all 3 of these counties in one conflict. So yeah, I think we'll likely have to join this war. It's not really as important to do this now. But maybe we'll still do it. I'm not going to invest any money into it, though. I don't think we'll spend money to get agents and stuff. We'll just attempt to use secrets and force agents in. Yeah, we'll still try and assassinate him, but yeah, I think we're going to have to join the war sooner than I had intended to. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this first episode. If you did, make sure you have a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. If you're looking for any links, check out the description of any of our videos. You'll find links to our PayPal, Patreon, and Teespring store if you'd like to help support the channel. You also find a link to all of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, if you'd like to follow us on there. And you'll find a link to our Discord if you'd like to join our community. If you're looking for anything to watch, then check out the front page of our channel. We got 3,000 something videos all sorted by genre. We play quite a bit of Hearts of Iron 4 if you enjoy that game. With CK3, we've had 3 campaigns so far. One is England, or technically we played as William the Conqueror. So it started out as Normandy, but then became England, the King of England. Then we have a Byzantine series. We started as a count in the empire and then rose up to the imperial title. And then we also played as the King of Poland, eventually creating the Polish-Ruthenian Empire. So that was our last series with the Royal Court expansion. So maybe check out one of those, or one of the Hearts of Iron 4 series, or perhaps a series of a game that is not in Paradox lineup. So Humankind would be a good strategy game that we played a while back that I had a lot of fun with. That was a fun campaign. And we play a wide variety of other genres as well, myself and my wife and co-host here on the channel, Jinx. So if you are into genres outside of strategy, maybe go check out one of those. So do hope to see you guys on that next episode, and thanks for watching.